Have you ever tried to figure out a really complex process? You know, it can feel like you've been handed this tangled, confusing map with absolutely no clear route. But what if you had a simple GPS to guide you? Well, that's exactly what a flawless flowchart is. A clear, direct path right through the chaos.
Oh, we've all been there. It's that feeling of trying to follow a workflow that somebody explained terribly, and you're just left frustrated, totally stuck. It's like getting those furniture assembly instructions where, half the steps are just gone. That's the exact confusion we're going to fix today.
Luckily, there's a tool that brings perfect order to all that chaos. The flowchart. It's our map to clarity, and it's designed specifically to turn a messy, complicated process into a logical, super easy to follow journey. So what is it really? Simply put, a flowchart is a visual language. It uses a standard set of symbols to show you the steps, the decisions, and the flow of pretty much any process. Think of it as the blueprint for how things actually get done. All right, so to speak this visual language, you first need to know the alphabet, right? So let's build out our essential toolkit with the fundamental symbols you're going to use to create any flowchart. And you know what? The core vocabulary is surprisingly simple. You've got ovals, or what we call terminators. Those mark your start and end points. Rectangles represent any action or a task you need to do. And then there's the diamond. This is your crucial decision point, where the path might split. Of course, we also have symbols for things like documents and databases. If you can just master these basic shapes, you are ready to start building.
But hold on, creating a great flowchart isn't just about dropping a few symbols onto a page. Nope, it's a structured process. So let's break it down into 3 simple phases that will take you from total chaos to absolute clarity. First up, planning your route. And let me tell you, this is the most crucial phase of all. Before you draw a single line, you have to deeply understand the process you're mapping. What kicks it off? What's the final outcome? You've got to define your boundaries and list every single key activity involved.
Next, in phase 2, we design the map itself. This is where the rules of the road really come into play. You got to use those standard symbols consistently, make sure the flow is logical, usually top to bottom or left to right. Every single symbol needs a clear, concise label, and of course, arrows have to connect everything to show exactly which way the process is going. And finally, phase 3 is all about validation because, look, a flowchart is totally useless if it's not accurate, so you have to test it. Walk through the whole process step by step. And this is so important. Get feedback from the people who actually use the system. They are your ultimate fact checkers.
Okay, so now that we know how to build one, let's talk about the common pitfalls. These are the easy-to-avoid traps that can quickly turn your beautiful, clear map right back into a confusing mess. One of the absolute biggest mistakes is using vague labels. I mean, look at this. A process step labeled do work. What does that even mean? It tells you absolutely nothing. But changing that to calculate sales tax, bam, that's specific, it's active, and it's instantly understandable. Clarity is everything here. And here are a few other common traps. Making charts that are way too complex. They're just impossible to follow, so break them down. Forgetting arrows. That just creates total confusion about where to go next. And using non-standard symbols, that's like inventing your own secret language that nobody else can read. Every one of these mistakes just undermines the whole point of making a flowchart. Clarity.
So we've gone through the how, but you might be wondering, why should I even bother mastering this skill? What's the real payoff for creating that perfect process map? Well, the payoff is huge. A clear flowchart gets everyone on the same page, which totally eliminates misunderstandings. It becomes this powerful analytical tool that can instantly show you where the bottlenecks or problems are. And for training new team members, it's an absolute game changer. It's not just a diagram, it's a tool for driving real improvement. Ultimately, it all comes down to this one simple idea. The DNA of a perfect flowchart is built on 3 pillars: clarity, simplicity, and accuracy. If you remember anything, remember that. Make that your mantra every single time you create one. So, you're all equipped. You've got the tools, you've got the rules, you literally have the map to bring order to any chaotic process you can think of. The only question left is, what process are you going to clarify first?